teachers, welcome again to Models for Training English Language Teachers. We are going to continue with the Unit 3, Thematic Guide. Now, let's move on. Well, the general objectives. General objectives in education are a broad, long-term goals for a curriculum or system, focusing on overall student development, values, and broad skills, critical thinking, or communication, rather than specific. Measurable tasks acting as guiding principles that are specific. Measurable objectives then break down into actionable steps. They aim to cultivate well-rounded individuals, fostering intellectual curiosity, societal contribution, and lifelong learning. We have some points to check this. Well, the broad and long term, they are cover the entire course, program, or educational journey. The value-oriented reflects the societal values and overall aims of education. Less measurable, it focuses on holistic growth, not single, easily quantifiable outcomes. They provide direction. They guide curriculum design and teaching setting the why and what in general terms. Some examples are to develop problem-solving skills, to foster effective oral and written communication, or and another one I can give you is to cultivate an understanding of global issues like climate change. It depends on your selection, teachers. General objectives versus specific objectives. Well, so the general objective is broad, guiding principles. For example, understanding scientific principles. And what would be the specific objective? It is measurable short-term action. Example, describe the water cycle. In a sense, general objectives set the big vision, while specific objectives detail the concrete steps and skills students will acquire to reach that vision. Knowledge objectives. Knowledge objectives in education are specific, measurable statements defining what students should know or be able to do after a lesson or unit, focusing on understanding concepts, facts, and processes, using action verbs like, explain, list, compare, to guide instruction, assessment, and student focus, ensuring clarity and expected learning outcomes. They serve as a roadmap for teachers and learners, like curriculum to specific, achievable goals for deeper applicable learning. We have some characteristics. Student-centric. It focuses on what the student will achieve, not what the teacher will do. Measurable. Use strong action verbs. For example, define, analyze, or describe, to make learning observable and accessible, avoiding vague terms like understand. Specific and clear. State precisely what knowledge or skill is required, providing focus, contextual link to broader learning outcomes and real-life applications for meaningful learning. There are some purposes. The guide instruction, it helps teachers select appropriate strategies and resources. The direct assessment form the basis for evaluating student mastery. Enhance engagement, give students a clear purpose and direction for their learning. Promote deeper learning, encourage skills like applying knowledge and metacognition, thinking about one's own thinking. For example, the learner will be able to explain the stages of photosynthesis in at least 3 sentences. Another one I can give you is students will be able to list the main causes of World War I in chronological order. Professional development objectives. Focus on enhancing teaching skills, knowledge, and effectiveness to improve student outcomes, covering areas like integrating new tech, mastering classroom management, incorporating social emotional learning, differentiating instruction, improving data literacy, and strengthening family communication, all while adapting to evolving curricula and student needs for continuous growth and career advancement. Attitudinal objectives. Focus on shaping students' values, beliefs, ethics, and willingness to act, moving beyond just knowledge, the cognitive, or skills, psychomotor, to foster qualities like responsibility, empathy, teamwork, and commitment to concepts like sustainability or social good. These are often harder to measure, but crucial for developing well-rounded individuals. Using verbs like accept, demonstrate commitment, or justify, and linking the Bloom's taxonomy's affective domain, aiming to cultivate positive dispositions and behaviors in students. We have some aspects. Well, they focus on affective domain. It deals with feelings, values, appreciation, enthusiasm, and motivations. Promotes desired behaviors. It aims to develop socially desirable conduct, ethical actions, and personal responsibility. It involves beliefs and convictions. It targets internal values and perspectives, influencing how students approach challenges. And the last thing, it connects to Bloom's taxonomy. It relates to the valuing, organization, and characterization by a value levels, using verbs such as choose, commit, justify, defend, and practice. The philosophy of its composition. Well, here we have that a personal reflective statement about your core beliefs, values, and goals as an educator, guiding the why, what, and how you teach, connecting your principles like behaviorism, constructivism, or humanism to practical classroom strategies for student success, growth, and engagement, acting as a compass for lesson planning and classroom culture. We have some components. Core beliefs, your fundamental views on the purpose of education and how students learn best. Example, constructivism, where students build knowledge, versus essentialism. This is focused on core subjects. The role of the teacher, how you see your role as a facilitator, guide, mentor, or expert. The teaching methods and practice. This is the specific strategies and techniques you use to foster learning. Example, active learning or project-based learning. The student goals. What you aim to achieve for your student. Example, critical thinking, lifelong learning, or self-belief. The last thing is the classroom environment. How you create an inclusive, engaging, and supportive space. Thematic blocks. Well, instructional approach where a single overarching theme acts as a conceptual glue. This is integrating content and skills across multiple subject areas. This structure helps students make meaningful, real-life connections with the material, fostering deeper understanding and engagement. We have some primary objectives. Well, holistic understanding. This is helping students to see the relationship among different aspects, of the real world, rather than viewing subjects as isolated entities. Increased engagement and motivation. This is by choosing themes relevant to students' lives and interests. Makes learning more purposeful, active, and student-centered. Deeper retention and skill development. This is by consequently applying skills like reading, writing, or critical thinking within a specific context. Students build more robust content knowledge and synthesize information more effectively. And the last thing, this is the integration of subjects. This is providing a framework for teachers to incorporate and combine elements of various subjects. Example, math, science, social studies, art, around a single topic, which is especially useful for exploring broad topics like diversity or sustainability. In the same topic, we have the content. The content within a thematic block is selected to support the central themes and is organized around specific measurable learning objectives. The core concepts. It is the content is not random. It is carefully chosen to ensure students master specific standards-based objectives from various curriculum areas. Teachers must differentiate between all content and essential content necessary for achieving the learning outcomes. Variety of resources. Teachers. The theme is explored using a variety of resources and information, such as different types of text, hands-on activities, projects, and media. Inquiry-based activities. The content often facilitates inquiry-based learning, encouraging students to explore, discover, strategize, and reflect through activities like group projects, dramatic play, and experiments. And the last thing, it is developmentally appropriate. The specific content chosen needs to be appropriate for the student's age, developmental level, and cultural background to ensure maximum engagement and relevance. Okay, teachers, this is the whole content for Unit 3. Here I am going to share the references. Be free to check them if you have the chance to do it. Remember that you have the assignments in the platform. Don't forget to check them and do it, please. I am going to say thanks to you for watching the video. See you next time.